Hello, this is Miss McCauley, and we are finishing up converting measurements using ratios, part 3. Make sure to answer the note check when you finish the video. Okay, now let's look at a real world example. We're going to convert a rate here on helicopters. A helicopter flies at a rate of 158 miles per hour. How many miles per second is this? Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky. So we need to write down a few things that we know. Okay, we know that 1 hour equals 3,600 seconds. Okay, and the way I figured that out is there are 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, so 60 times 60 is 3,600. Okay, so we know that our unit ratio is 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. Okay, so now what we would do is we would multiply 158 miles, okay, over 1 hour, because he flies that many miles in an hour. How much is that going to equal if we times it by 1 hour over 3,600 seconds? Divide out your common units, which are the hours, cross those out, okay, and then you will be left with 158 divided by 3,600, because you end up multiplying and you get 158 miles over 3,600 seconds. If you divide 158 by 3,600, you will get 0.004, oh sorry, too many zeros, 0.04 miles per second. That's your final answer. So the helicopter flies approximately 0.04 of a mile per second. Okay, go ahead and go to your next page. Now, let's try to change some metric units. Okay, let's see what happens when we do that. Okay, you've probably done some of this in science, I think, or I hope. Okay, so let's just take a look here. The metric system is a decimal system of measures. The prefixes commonly used in this system are kilo, centi, and milli. Kilos are thousands, centi is hundredths, milli is thousandths. Okay? In the metric system, the base unit of length is the meter. Using the prefixes, the names of other units of length are formed. Notice that the prefixes tell you how the units relate to the meter. Okay, so for example, 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. 1 meter equals 1,000th of a kilometer. 1 meter is 1 meter. That's our standard relationship. A centimeter is 0.01 meter, and 1 meter is 100 centimeters. 1 millimeter is 0.001 meters, and 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. Okay, these are all things that hopefully you learned in science. The liter is the base unit of capacity, the amount of dry or liquid material an object can hold. The gram measures mass, the amount of matter in an object. The prefixes can also be applied to these units. Whereas the meter and liter are the base units of length and capacity, the base unit of mass is the kilogram. Okay, go ahead and go to your next page. We're going to do some conversions here. Okay, to change a metric measure of length, mass, or capacity from one unit to another, you can use the relationship between the two units and the multiplication by a power of 10. So for example, let's convert 4.5 liters to milliliters. You need to convert liters to milliliters. Use the relationship that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. Okay, so if we write that down, 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, that is our relationship. Multiply each side by 4.5 since you have 4.5 liters. So 4.5 times 1 liter equals 1,000 times 4.5. Okay, you would end up with 4.5 liters equals 4,500 milliliters. Okay, to multiply 4.5 by 1,000, you just move the decimal place 3 places to the right because we're getting bigger. Okay, how about converting 500 millimeters to meters? Okay, so in this case, we know that our conversion is 1 millimeter equals 1 thousandth of a meter. So 1 millimeter equals 0.001 meter. We want to know how 500 millimeters, how many meters are. So do 500 times 1 millimeter equals 500 times 0.001 meter. And you will end up with 500 millimeters equals 0.5 meters, because you just simply move your decimal 3 places to the left, okay? Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and do this real world example with the bear, okay? The California grizzly bear was designated the official state animal in 1953. Use the information at the left to find the maximum weight of a grizzly bear in grams. Okay, the information that we have over here is the maximum weight of a grizzly bear is 521.64 kilograms. Okay, so let's write this down. We know that our relationship is 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Okay, so we would take 521.64 times 1 kilogram equals 1,000 times 521.64. Okay, so that means that 521.64 kilograms equals 521,640 grams, because we just multiplied right there. Okay, pretty easy. So the maximum weight of a grizzly bear is 521,640 grams. Okay, go ahead and go to your last. Okay, this is another chart that is going to be very handy for you, that is for metric conversions, or to go between customary and metric. Again, you probably want to screenshot this and use it. Okay, so this is kind of the last thing that we sometimes have to do, and it can be very tricky, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so let's go ahead and try these last couple of problems. Convert 17.22 inches to centimeters. Round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Now, I personally like to use proportions to do this, but you can also use the unit ratios. I will show you both ways. Okay, convert 17.22 inches to centimeters. Round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So we want to use the conversion that we can see up here. Okay, how many inches you can see here? This is our conversion. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So we will write that down. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So we would do 17.22 inches. Okay, equals 2.54 times 17.22, and you will end up with 17.22 inches equals 43.7388. It says to round to the nearest hundredth, so you would write 17.22 inches equals 43.74 centimeters. Okay, let me show you the other way that I would do that, just to make it easier, because sometimes I think it's hard. You don't know whether you should be multiplying or dividing. So I set up a proportion. So I would set up my proportion 1 inch to 2.54 centimeters. And then I would set up my equivalent ratio over here. What I'm given in the problem is inches, so I put that on top because I have inches on top. And then this is my question mark, and then I would simply do my cross products here, and so that would be 1 question mark equals the 2.54 times 17.22, which is the 43.7388. That's how you end up knowing that this is 43.74, because you set up the equivalent ratios where you put inches to inches, centimeters to centimeters. It makes it very easy to know if you should multiply or divide. So let's do the next one that way. Convert 828.5 milliliters to cups. So we need to look at our relationship up here. 1 cup is this many milliliters. So let's set up our proportion. 1 cup equals 236.59 milliliters, and then set up our problem. We're given milliliters, so that will go on the bottom. 828.5 milliliters, and we don't know how many cups that is. So we would do our cross products here. We end up with 828.5 milliliters equals 236.59 question mark, right? That's our variable in this case. So in that case, you know, to get the variable by itself, you need to divide. So you would do 828.5 divided by 236.59, and you will end up with 3.5 cups. And that would be your final answer. So again, you have a couple of different options in solving these problems. Personally, I think that what you already know about proportions and solving little simple equations would make proportions your best choice for these. Okay? But if you have any questions, please make sure to ask your teachers. And good luck on these conversions. Bye for now.